Assalamu alaikum and very warm welcome to this special episode of SOT Talkies. At SOT we have a vision of reimagining the future and creating a world where we can all flourish as unique individuals. So SOT की हमारी बहुत सी जहतें यानी डायमेंशंस हैं, वैसे ही एक किसी जहती शख्सियत आज हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं और SOT पे हमारा एक विजन और फोकस होता है कि टू क्रिएट कॉन्वर्सेशन एंड डायलॉग, एंड कॉन्वर्सेशन एंड डायलॉग कैन नॉट बी कन्फाइंड टू जस्ट 1 month एंड 1 weekend ओनली. सो इसलिए वी आर कमिंग अप विद दिस आइडिया ऑफ SOT टॉकीज़ के जहाँ पर हम राउंड द ईयर कॉन्वर्सेशन को जारी रखेंगे. सो आज हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं मिस्टर आज़म जमील हु डिसाइडेड टू बिकम अ गार्डियन ऑफ द फ्यूचर मोर देन 40 years ago, और डिफरेंट डायमेंशंस में डिफरेंट फील्ड्स में उन्होंने काम किया, बीट हॉस्पिटैलिटी, बीट टूरिज़म, एजुकेशन के साथ कुछ हद तक इनका ताल्लुक़ रहा. लेकिन जो चीज़ सबसे ज़्यादा मुझे जिस चीज़ ने फैसिनेट किया वो है इनका स्पोर्ट्स से ताल्लुक़. ही डोंट पाकिस्तान कलर एंड रिप्रेजेंटेड दिस नेशन एज अ प्रो स्पोर्ट्स. तो हम बातचीत का सिलसिला शुरू करते हैं आज़म जमील साहब. आज़म साहब, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर गिविंग अस सम टाइम. कैसे हैं आप?
Alhamdulillah, and it's a real privilege. Thank you for having me. I'm loving to be here and talking to you.
आज़म साहब, सबसे पहले तो मतलब टॉपिक पे आ जाते हैं. जो इस वक्त करंट लैंडस्केप है हमारे यहाँ हॉस्पिटैलिटी इंडस्ट्री का, उसके बारे में बताइएगा. बट सबसे पहले समवन लाइक मी जिसने से पहली मरतबा हॉस्पिटैलिटी का वर्ड सुना था तो उसको लगा था दिस हैज़ समथिंग टू डू विद हॉस्पिटल. तो हॉस्पिटैलिटी होती क्या है?
Okay, the general misconception is that hospitality is hotel management. That's what the common popular belief is. Hotels actually form about 9% of the hospitality profile. Hospitality is everything under the sun. For example, cruise ship management is hospitality, resort management is hospitality, Disney World is hospitality. To some extent, your comment was said in jest, but to some extent, hospitals are hospitality. So it's a multi-dimensional field. वो और पाकिस्तान में हॉस्पिटैलिटी अब फ्लेवर ऑफ द डे हो गया. हम एक वर्ड को लेके ना हम चल पड़ते हैं विदाउट इवन नोइंग व्हाट इट मीन्स. सो एवरीबॉडी इज़ यूजिंग हॉस्पिटैलिटी मैनेजमेंट. स्कूल खुल रहे हैं हॉस्पिटैलिटी मैनेजमेंट के, विच इज़ फाइन, बट technically it's not just hotels. It's a very, very wide field of you being dealing with customers in various areas.
So what is the current state of hospitality industry in Pakistan when you compare it with when you started 40 more than 40 years ago? So अभी क्या situation और क्या key trends आपको नज़र आ रहे हैं?
Okay, I can tell you what sounds good. I can also tell you the truth. The choice is yours. And sometimes they are not the same thing. We've struggled, okay? I would love to say that, we've come a long way, and we have. And just to correct your history, I started my career 50 years ago, okay? And 50 years has been, 98% in hospitality and hotels. We've come a long way, okay? And yet we are not anywhere close to where we should be. There is so much to be done, and we will get there, but it's a struggle, and we need to get the fundamentals and the basics right. And I'm sure you're going to ask me about my role in government later, but I will answer it then. But yes, hospitality in Pakistan has done reasonably well. Has it done as well as it should be? And the answer is no.
So अभी क्या ट्रेंड्स हैं हॉस्पिटैलिटी इंडस्ट्री के पाकिस्तान में?
देखिए, hospitality basically, अब hotels, if you look at hotels, they are divided into different segments. We have a very large business segment. People travel from point A to point B for work. That segment has always been strong in Pakistan. Recently, another trendy word that has come up is tourism. Okay, that's now the flavor of the day. Everybody wants to speak about tourism, and tourism basically is traveling, but traveling for leisure. This segment is also growing in Pakistan, and then there are other reasons that people travel, but the primary reason or the two basic reasons are for leisure or work. Okay, leisure was totally unstructured in Pakistan. Now people are focusing on it. We're getting better. Again, to be honest, we're not there. Okay, and but inshallah we will get there.
So, आपने जैसा बताया कि tourism has an impact on our hospitality industry, and obviously they are pretty much interconnected. So, what is the biggest impact tourism has had on our hospitality industry? A, and B, what are the popular destinations in Pakistan, and how are they playing a role in the growth of hospitality industry in Pakistan?
Okay, so let me sort of dissect your question into two parts. एक तो हमारी बहुत बड़ी बीमारी जिसको मैं कहूँगा कि जब भी हम टूरिस्ट का लफ्ज़ इस्तेमाल करते हैं ना, हमारे जहन में गोरा आता है. And I have literally fought this for my entire life. कि a country like ours with now 25 crore people, do we need goras for our tourism to flourish? And the answer is no. Your domestic tourism will always be your foundation. You know, the gora is the cherry on the cake. We don't even have the cake yet. And we are too interested in that cherry. And cherry, you know, is literally for decorative purposes. Achhi cheez hai gora. You know, if you have goras walking down Karimabad, Hunza, they look good, okay? But if you're really honest about it, they are not contributing that much to the economy. मैं आपको ये बताऊं that a Gora tourist is not a great spender like a Pakistani is. वो सुबह एक फैमिली उठती है ना, हाँ वो अगर if the foreigner is here for work, then his spending patterns are different. Why? Because he's on a company account. He's signing on behalf of his company. When he's paying himself, you see his quality go down, and they'll get up and they'll survive on a can of baked beans for breakfast. Okay. Now, compared to that, if a family leaves फैसलाबाद आफ्टर ब्रेकफास्ट, बेहरा में 12 बंदों का कढ़ाई गोश्त ऑर्डर हुआ होगा. They are the ones contributing to economy. This family arrives in Murray before the unpacking is done. The women are out on the Mall Road, and you know what they're buying? Sotis, which they have no need for. But sotiyan kharidni hai, tick 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 tick, because that's what holds the economy. Let me give you an example of India that I quote very often. Taj Mahal you've heard of, right?
Taj Mahal.
Okay. About 750,000 foreigners come to the Taj Mahal.
Yeah.
9 million Indians come to the Taj Mahal. 90 लाख इंडियन आता है. अब तुम मुझे बताओ कि गोलगप्पे कौन खा रहा है, भेलपूरी कौन खा रहा है, टांगे पे कौन फिर रहा है? Who is supporting the basic economy of the area? It's the local. Yeah, countries like which are state nations like Dubai ho gayi, they need foreigners because unki indigenous population nahi hai. The Maldives will die if foreigners don't show up. So will Singapore. But we need to focus. I am not suggesting by a long shot that a foreign tourist is not somebody that we should not pursue. But we can't put the cart before the horse. Get your locals to travel first. And once your locals start traveling, then the foreigners will come. Islamabad, do you know 80% of Islamabad has not seen Tesla?
Okay.
Right? And we expect कि फ्रैंकफर्ट से बंदा आएगा देखने के लिए कि बुद्धा कहाँ बैठा था.
और टेक्सला की तो वो भी लड़ाई है ना कि वो केपी में साफ करना है कि पंजाब में साफ करना है.
बिकॉज जब इन्होंने डेवेस्ट किया तो आधा टेक्सला केपी में चला गया, आधा पंजाब में आ गया. सो नाउ you can imagine the mess that's created. So we need to be very, very focused that tourism is a good thing, but we need to start from home. हमारी 3 दिन की छुट्टी आती है ना, तो हम गेट को ताला लगाते हैं, नेटफ्लिक्स ऑन करते हैं और पराठे बन जाते हैं. Okay, you will never see an average Pakistani family sit in the car and leave and say, okay, let's go somewhere. Okay, they'll do this in the summer holidays, okay, which is a planned, structured vacation. But impulsive traveling जो है ना, वो हमारे culture में नहीं है. And impulsive impulsive traveling is the source of tourism, because that's where the habit is formed. That's where आदत बनती है कि चलो यार पाकिस्तान को देखें. Because मैं तो हमेशा कहता हूँ, लोग, people don't like me for that, कि we are a तमाशबीन nation. We like to clap, you know, कि कोई अच्छा काम करे, हम ताली जरूर बजाएंगे, लेकिन वो काम खुद नहीं करेंगे. आप लोगों से तारीफें सुन लें काराकोरम हाईवे की. They'll give you half an hour lecture on Karakoram Highway, and if you ask them, have you been, they'll say no. Because this is what we've become. So tourism starts at home, okay? And then a lot of times they ask me, can we start at home? And I said, yes, but our house is not in order. Okay, we are quite messed up in terms of tourism, because our tourism is totally asset-based. Okay, and that's fine. It has to be asset-based. KG Saiful Malook is very pretty. K2 is 8,611 meters high. Assets are fine. But behind the assets, there's a whole back-end office working, and which for us is not working. Okay, जब तक वो back-end services आप provide नहीं करोगे, it doesn't matter how beautiful Saiful Malook is. Okay, when you leave the house, there are 100 points in the checklist before you get to Saiful Malook. Right? What if somebody falls sick close to Balakot? Is there a hospital? Okay, what if your grandmother is going with you and she has breathing problems? What do? All these are a part of tourism. You know, Disneyland's focus positioning is what? It's not entertainment. You know what it is? It's safety. Because Disney World they realize that when parents bring kids, what's the most important thing to parents as far as their kids is concerned? Is safety. So Disney World pushes safety as their primary selling point. Not how high Magic Mountain is and Pirates of the Caribbean में कितना मजा आता है and Star Wars की ride लेने में कितना मजा आता है. All they sell is safety. So we need to get the back end sorted. Our assets, there's no problem with it. The Almighty has given us a beautiful country. We just need to make sure that we manage it well.
So there's a massive gap between the asset and the experience.
Huge.
और आपकी वो जो बात थी लोकल स्पेंडर से, वो मुझे पंजाबी कहावत याद आ गई कि जेब में चाहे 4 आने और पुत्र खर्चा 1 रुपए का ही करना चाहिए.
Exactly. For देखो, if you go anywhere, आज आप मरी चले जाओ, आप आज हुंसा चले जाओ, you will find foreigners there, you know. But if you look at the Pakistanis there, the big difference is that the foreigners will be looking at the mountains and the Pakistanis will be looking at food. Right? Their primary focus is where will we have lunch, okay? Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not being judgmental here, but I'm just saying that वो जो tourism की spirit है ना, that is to discover, to explore, to go where no man has gone before. That is lacking. But like I said, that's our job. We represent Beacon House at the school level. We need to induct this spirit. Let the kids go, and because I was telling Mr. Qasim Kusuri that today's student is tomorrow's tourist. Yeah. Right? And if we don't inculcate that interest in him, that love, tomorrow he will not be your tourist.
नेक्स्ट सेगमेंट हमारा चैलेंज एंड अपॉर्चुनिटीज से था, और एक सवाल मेरे आप ही की बात से आया था कि सेफ्टी एक बड़ा कंसर्न होता है व्हेन इट कम्स टू लाइक पीपल एट डिज्नी. उसको हमारे यहाँ सेफ्टी का मतलब ये है कि इनकन्वीनियंस पैदा कर दो, वो बड़ा सेफ्टी है. तो सेफ्टी ने कितना बड़ा रोल प्ले किया है हमारी हॉस्पिटैलिटी इंडस्ट्री को उस मुकाम तक ना आने में, हमारी टूरिज्म को उस मुकाम तक ना आने में. तो हमारे जो एक फॉर द लैक ऑफ अ बेटर वर्ड वो जो एक खप्त है हमारा कि सिक्योरिटी वाला जो है, उसका कितना बड़ा किरदार रहा है.
You know, you're going to get me arrested, I'm sure. Dekho, there are a couple of bridges in Gilgit-Baltistan. These bridges fall every year because of water gushing in, or some happen, they fall.
Yeah.
The local villagers come and fix it, the village, the bridge. They come back, or wo theek kar lete hain. They're good at this. and this bridge breaks every year. जो ब्रिज खुद टूट जाता है उसकी तस्वीर हम नहीं खींच सकते. Okay, if you leave it, it'll break itself because it's a rickety old bridge, but you can't photograph. We are phobic with security. Okay, there is absolutely no harm in being secure, but some common sense has to prevail. Okay, one of the reasons why people have stopped eating, I'm talking of the big cities now, okay, you would probably not go to, let's say, a big 5-star hotel restaurant to eat because of what precedes it, the procedure.
Yeah.
You would rather go to MM Alam Road, park your car and walk straight in, okay? Either एक fatigue है, कभी कुत्ते, कभी फलाना, and of course they have to do it. But people are averse to security. They're not averse to security. They are averse to being over secure. Or we've not been able to draw a line, a logical line between common sense. Today, you are not allowed to picture the Karachi port.
Okay.
If you remember, वहाँ बंदर boating होती है. You can hire a boat, sailboat, and you can go there. But if you take out a camera and picture the port, some people will come and take that camera away from you. Okay? पहले तो वो फिल्म वाले कैमरे होते थे, वो कैमरे ही ले जाते थे या फिल्म खींच लेते थे. अब वो क्योंकि डिलीट नहीं कर सकते, वो कैमरा ही ले जाते हैं. Now, that's not the bad part. If you want to secure the port, that's fine. What I laugh about is that in December of every year, KPT comes out with a calendar with 30 stunning pictures of the port. Okay? And they're taken from drones and for helicopters. I mean, angles that you wouldn't even dream of. They hand it to you every year as a gift. Okay? So security should not be confused. Okay? Whatever your security is, by all means, keep it. But have some common sense attached to it. Okay? Mera rona tab hota hai when we go totally haywire and we go to an illogical extreme under the garb of security. फिर दो किस्म की securities हैं. एक security is you can prepare for. The other security you can't prepare for. For example, I'm just giving an extreme example. A terrorist attack. GB में some guy comes with a weapon and starts shooting people. You can't plan against that. You can't predict that. That can happen out of the blues, okay? But there are a lot of security that you can plan for, okay? For example, if your car breaks down on the Karakoram highway, it's an insecure situation. Not because somebody is going to rob you, is that because you may have kids in the car who need food, who need milk, who need medical attention, and there's no civilization 3 hours in either direction. तो एक तो वो security है, वहाँ भी हम weak हैं. जो security आप plan नहीं कर सकते. अब आप देखो, you go to a 5-star hotel, हर गाड़ी की डिक्की खोलते हैं ना. They know that you're not carrying anything, but you are suffering for that one possible idiot who may show up after 4 years. And for that one idiot to appear, they need to check about 3 million cars in the hope that they'll catch him. So it's not their fault also. They said you'd rather be a little inconvenienced, but we want you to be secure. That's their logic, and which is fine. You could argue that. But when you have a choice, then you won't accept that. आपके पास choice है where you can avoid all this. Okay? So yeah, security there's no quick solution to this. It is very irritating. It's especially irritating when it's illogical.
So other than security, what are the challenges hospitality industry is facing in Pakistan?
यार देखो, security एक है. दूसरी बात ये है कि our basic civic amenities are missing. आप गिलगित बल्तिस्तान तो छोड़ दो, वो तो बहुत एक remote area है. If you are walking down the mall and if you want to go to the toilet, what will you do? You will look for a restaurant. you will look for a fast food restaurant, or you will creep into the PC hotel or something. We don't have amenities, period. And we don't have public amenities. Now, the argument is that when you have public amenities, log bedagar kar dete hain. They destroy them. And the reason wo bedagar karte hain, because I've been screaming my entire life that you make these amenities and you have governments run them. Ye government ka kaam nahi hai. You hand them to the private sector, bhai. You've driven down the motorway. वो Hascall के bathrooms are a pleasure. You know, मेरी बेगम, if she doesn't even want to go to the bathroom, वो कहती है रोको यहाँ 50 रुपए दिए. Why? Because it's in the private sector. They take money from you and they will ensure that it's hygienic, it's clean. You give it to the government. क्या होगा? वो तो नलके उठा के ले जाएंगे अगले दिन. तो एक तो फैसिलिटी बनाना अपनी जगह है, बट हैंड इट ओवर यार, तुम्हारा काम नहीं है ये. दिस इज नॉट योर जॉब टू रन एमेनिटीज. लेट द प्राइवेट सेक्टर डू इट एंड लेट देम मेक मनी. या यू गो कट द रिबन, टेक द सेल्फी, व्हाटएवर द हेल यू वांट टू डू.
तख्ती लगा लें.
हाँ, तख्ती लगा लो यार, बट उसके हवाले करो. काराकोरम हाईवे पे जो गुसल खानों का मेरा रोना है, वो सिर्फ इसलिए नहीं बनते क्योंकि हुकूमत खुद बनाना चाहती है. So my suggestion to them was कि they are villages, you know, on the hillsides. जिस village में ये youth रहते हैं, बच्चे, उसके नीचे आप bathrooms बनाओ आप. They don't have the money to invest. You invest the bathrooms and you hand them to that youth. And say यार यहाँ टेबल लगाओ, यहाँ रजिस्टर लगाओ, 100 रुपया लो. बाथरूम अगर गंदे हुए ना तो हम वापस ले लेंगे. And you see those kids run those bathrooms. You could eat off the floor. But the minute you say कि नहीं जी हम एक हुकूमत से बंदा भेजेंगे जो वैसे ही गालियां देता आता है कि एक कोई नौकरी है, मैंने गुसल खाने बिठा देता. That's how he starts his day, right? So give it to the kids, let them run it. But we just need to develop that courage. You know, I use the word courage because to cross the threshold, sometimes you need the courage to say कि यार, let's do it this way.
I'm not too sure कितनी सही एग्जांपल होगी, बट टेक द एग्जांपल ऑफ पीटीडीसी कि उसमें एक स्टार में ग्रेड का अफसर बिठा देते हैं कि जाओ तुम चलाओ. उस बेचारे को नहीं है एक्सपीरियंस होटल चलाने का या हॉस्पिटैलिटी का, और इवेंचुअली हमने देखा है कि पीटीडीसी उस तरह से नहीं परफॉर्म कर सका जिस तरह से करना चाहिए था. तो उनको अब हैंड ओवर किया जा रहा है प्राइवेट सेक्टर को. तो इसको आप किस तरह से देखते हैं कि
It's not just a comment, it's a very valid comment. The government has no business. Okay, let me rephrase that. It's not the business of the government to be in business.
Yeah.
ये उनका काम नहीं, चाहे वो होटल है, चाहे वो कोई, उनका काम नहीं. The government needs to be a regulatory authority, make the rules, and then let the private sector run it. PTDC should never have been. I've been involved with PTDC, not directly, but I've known of PTDC, work with them, you know, because 60s, 70s में जब कोई भी नहीं होता था तो PTDC होते थे. They have the most prime locations in anywhere because government था, if they wanted to be on a hill, that's the land they got. If they wanted 7 acres, they got 7 acres. But like you said, they asked a government officer from a ministry to go run the hotel. Now that guy, now that I'm on the subject, let me vent a little more. Okay. एक ये होटल मैनेजमेंट है ना, everybody including all of you sitting in this room feel ये काम हमें आता है. ये एक ऐसी बिजनेस है, everybody feels that they can do it. सर जी क्या आप खाना बनाते हो ना, जो मेरी बेगम बनाती है, आपकी सोच है. और जो कमरे मैंने बनाए हुए हैं, सेटअप किया हुआ है अपने घर में, everybody thinks that hotel management is something that they know how to do. So the minute you think that everybody can do it, that's your first mistake. I used to travel to London very frequently, and in business class I used to have a guy sitting next to me, and he used to say कि आप क्या करते हो? And I used to say कि I'm the corporate director for Serena Hotels, and I used to get a 3-hour lecture on how to run hotels. And then in the end, when I used to ask him, मैंने कहा आप क्या करते हो? And he said, I'm a dentist. So he thought he was qualified to lecture me till we landed at Heathrow how to run hotels. तो फिर मैंने बताना ही बंद कर दिया. लोग कहते थे आप क्या करते हैं? मैं कहा मैं पैनाडोल बनाता हूँ. And that was the end of argument. Nobody ever asked me a question again. I watched my movie, I read my book. So ये जो belief है ना कि हम ये काम कर सकते हैं, this is the belief the government had when they opened PTDC hotels. यार कमरे हैं ना, कमरों की सफाई करनी हम घर में नहीं करते, बिस्तरा बनाना है घर में नहीं बनाते, हम खाना बनाते हैं घर में नहीं बनाते. कौन सा काम है जो PTDC मोटेल में होता है that we don't do at home? And the answer is nothing. It's exactly the same, but it's not the same. Here you are managing a business. Okay, so they sent these people. Now once the losses started accumulating, I'm talking of the 80s and 90s, once the losses started accumulating, they, typical of us, we blame the guy, that individual. यार ये जो है ना अब्दुल खालिक, ये ठीक नहीं काम कर रहा, इसको यहां से निकाल
तबादला कर लो.
तो अब्दुल खालिक को बना दिया सेक्शन ऑफिसर या कहीं उसको OSD लगा दिया, उसकी जगह अब्दुल वहीद को बढ़ा दिया. Right? Not realizing that the new guy is no more qualified than the previous one to run that hotel. Though they gave him 2 or 3 years till he runs it to the ground. And this kept happening and happening and happening. So I'm not surprised at all that PTDC hotels ended up. दूसरी बात यह है कि एक दफा हम गलती करते हैं और उस लेवल तक कर देते हैं, then we don't have the courage to backtrack also, ना? We don't have to say, यार, we made a mistake, end of this nonsense. Then we will live with it. It's PIA is a perfect case in point. You know, we made the mistake, now we want to live with it. Now we're going to throw in good money after bad money or bad money after good money, and we'll keep doing it because we don't want to say कि यार we screwed up. Let's do it the proper way. And PTDC का अभी भी you know in GB वो handover हो रही है, KP में फिर फंडे पड़ गए हैं, पंजाब नहीं कर रहा. एक तो इन्होंने टूरिज्म को जब 18th Amendment में divest कर दिया ना, that was the first mistake they made. But you can divest, I mean, you know, do whatever you do with other ministries. Police को कर दो, education कर दो. You don't touch tourism. Because tourism is a national message to the world. Okay? Now 5 provinces are giving 5 different messages. One province doesn't see eye to eye with the other. Why? Because the governments in those provinces belong to different parties. तो अगर एक पार्टी की हुकूमत है, प्रोविंशियल दूसरी पार्टी की है, तो व्हाट डू यू एक्सपेक्ट कि वो आपस में बैठ के बात करेंगे? वो अपनी 2 ईंट की मस्जिद बनाएंगे, ये अपनी 2 ईंट की मस्जिद बनाएंगे. सो टूरिज्म शुड नॉट हैव बीन टच्ड. दे शुड हैव केप्ट टूरिज्म एट द फेडरल लेवल. बाकी जो करते रहे उनको, यू नो, इट्स I don't know whether it's harmful or not, but this is one area that shouldn't have messed with.
आपकी बात से मुझे एक वाकया याद आ गया कि मेरा दोस्त अपने बच्चे को डॉक्टर के पास लेके गया अपने, और वो बचपन से उसका भी डॉक्टर था. तो उससे पूछा, अच्छा डॉक्टर साहब इसकी ये तबीयत खराब होगी, अब आप क्या करेंगे? कहता मैंने गाल दास, मैं कभी तेरे को पूछा तू एडवर्टाइजिंग से की करना है. सो
बिल्कुल.
हम अपॉर्चुनिटीज की अगर बात कर लें तो ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट कहाँ है अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ में? फिर हमारा वो जो हम कहते हैं जी बड़ा रिच कल्चर है, हमारी बड़े बड़े एसेट्स हैं, नेचुरल एसेट्स, तो वो हमारी हॉस्पिटैलिटी इंडस्ट्री को किस तरह से सपोर्ट कर सकते हैं गोइंग इनटू द फ्यूचर?
I don't even know SOT is going to telecast this podcast or not. But देखो, सबसे पहला जो कंडीशन है ना, और मेरी अब उम्र ये हो गई है, आई एम ओल्डर देन योर फादर्स ऑल्सो, इज दैट यू हैव टू स्टार्ट बाय स्टॉप लाइंग टू योरसेल्फ. अपने आप ना झूठ बोलना बंद करोगे तो कोई काम चलेगा. यस, वी विल लाई टू द रेस्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, एवरीबॉडी डज दैट, एंड सो विल यू एंड सो विल आई. बट व्हेन यू स्टार्ट लाइंग टू योरसेल्फ, दैट्स द बिगिनिंग ऑफ द एंड. एक तो सबसे बड़ा झूठ हम जो बोलते हैं कि हमारी 5000 साल पुरानी मेहमानदारी की सकाफत, How many times have you heard this? Okay, we are in the subcontinent. We are from the Indus Valley. We have 5,000 years of memandari ki sakafat. And when this point was put to me when I was in the government, I said, this is rubbish. And everybody thought that ye pagal ho gaya. He's denying history. And I said, देखो, हमारी मेहमानदारी की सकाफत जरूर है. But ask yourself one question very honestly, हम मेहमानदारी किसके साथ करते हैं? या रिश्तेदारों के साथ या दोस्तों के साथ? These are the two segments you are hospitable to. अजनबी से प्यार करते हो? Because अजनबी से प्यार करने को टूरिज्म कहते हैं. That's the definition of tourism.
Yeah.
We don't like strangers. I can promise you, you're sitting in a Daewoo for 4 hours driving to Islamabad, you will spend 4 hours on your phone. That idiot sitting next to you, you won't even know his name. And you'll get off and you'll take your bags and you'll go. That's not tourism. If you leave that bus and he's your new friend, that's tourism, which people don't understand. तुम्हारे घर आज दोस्त आएंगे तो उसी वक्त फूड पैंडा निकल आएगा, बट उनकी क्वालिफिकेशन क्या होगी? वो दोस्त होंगे या रिश्तेदार होंगे. अदरवाइज योर गेट्स आर शट. मुझे लोग मेरे इंटरव्यूज में पूछते हैं, सर हमने अपने दिल बंद कर लिए. मैंने कहा दिल बंद करने से पहले हम अपने गेट बंद किए हैं, दिल बाद में बंद हुए. हमने तो वो जमाना भी देखा हुआ है, तुम लोगों ने देखा हुआ कि वो सब्जी वाला ड्राइंग रूम में आ जाता था, कहता था बाजी किथे नवे बैंगन आए ने, एंड द मछली वाला यूज्ड टू एंटर द बैक किचन में आ गया, ए देखो जी मच्छी, ही वाज इन योर किचन बिकॉज द गेट्स वर ओपन. तो पहले हमने गेट बंद किए, जब गेट बंद हुए हमने दिल बंद कर लिए. सो नाउ वी आर सेल्फिशली फोकस्ड ऑन फ्रेंड्स एंड फैमिली. That is not मेहमान नवाजी from a tourism angle. We are very hospitable. हमारे घर में कोई घुस जाए, हम उसको खाना ठूसने के बगैर घर नहीं भेजेंगे. But these guys are known to us. और ये बहुत एक क्लियर डिस्टिंक्शन है. जो हम कहते हैं कि हम 5,000 साल से मेहमान नवाजी करते हैं, अपनों के साथ करते हैं. जिस दिन गैरों के साथ शुरू कर दी ना, उस दिन आप टूरिस्ट नेशन बन जाओगे.
You have been on the both sides of the fence. आप गवर्नमेंट में भी रहे, आप 30, 35, 40, 50 साल इस साइड पे भी रहे, तो आपने दोनों साइड्स देखी. सबसे पहले तो मेरा सवाल एक ये है कि जिन्होंने आपको ऐसे पीएम लगाया था उनको ये याद था कि आप स्कूल में उनके साथ थे. सो आपका कैसा एक्सपीरियंस रहा बीइंग एन ऐसे पीएम? ओनली आई थिंक 5 माह का था, उसमें कितने फटे हुए, कितने जाके आपने बोर्ड्स जो थी वो हिलाई, एंड कोई ऐसे इनिशिएटिव्स थे जो आप रखना चाह रहे थे या आपको वो होते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं?
Okay, so there are 3 or 4 questions. First of all, the class fellow you're talking about was not a class fellow, he was a year senior.
Year senior,
okay.
Yes.
Academic. There were a lot of classes we attended together, but he was a year senior. He was in government for 3 years before he even looked at me.
Yeah.
Okay. Did he know I existed? Of course he knew. Did he knew I was the best guy in tourism in the country? Yes, he knew that.
Okay.
And yet, for reasons best known to him, he looked the other way. And people asked me, okay, why isn't he not calling you? And I said, ask him. And I was working for a living. I said, मैं नौकरी कर रहा हूँ भाई, जब उसका फोन आएगा मैं देख लूँगा. Then something happened, and don't ask me what, because he hasn't told me. That when he did decide to take me on, he didn't even ask me. He notified me before telling me that he's appointed. And other people told me, sir, मुबारक हो आपकी notification निकल आई. मैं कहा किस बात की? And after that he met me. So जब उसने फैसला कर लिया, but that's who he is. He is impulsive, and he would take. We know each other. We are not friends, but we know each other well. Because we are both professional sportsmen. और sportsmen का एक link होता है, उनकी एक language होती है. He asked me on the first day, what would you like me to do to help you? And I said, keep me away from the politics.
Okay.
I said, just let me do my job. And then another thing he said was that there's an office vacant 2 offices from here, and I would want you to sit there. And I said, why? And he said, you don't understand. I said, what do I do? He said, if you sit here, every email you write, you know what the header is going to be? From the office of the Prime Minister. What more do you want? Pakistan mein yun hi kaam hota hai na. So my reply to him was, I said, after spending my entire life in this field, if I need your name to do my job, you found the wrong guy. So he looks at somebody sitting next to him, which I will not name. He said, "Main tujhe nahi kehta tha, ye pagal hai." So he said, wherever he wants an office, isko de do, meri jaan chhadao. So there were 5 glorious months, okay, that I worked with him. For no other reason, so he was a tourist before he even became a cricketer. उसने tourism पहले शुरू की, cricket बाद में शुरू की. So anybody who's passionate about tourism helps. And when you speak to him in that language, he understands.
And he wrote 2 books.
Yeah, exactly.
One on Indus Valley and one on travel.
Exactly, bilkul. So his contribution to tourism perhaps is more than my contribution to tourism. मैंने तो मुलाज़मत की है, उसका तो passion था. तो he and I worked brilliantly together. We spoke the same language. Any support I asked for, it was forthcoming immediately because he understood where I was coming from. The third thing that helped me was that he always knew, and he told his team also, कि आज़म की जो integrity है ना, वो compromise ये कभी नहीं करेगा, and that's a huge plus for me. ये कभी भी कोई इस किस्म का फैसला नहीं करेगा जिसका इसका ज़ाती मुफाद हो. He had that confidence in me. Okay, so we worked very well. How does it feel to be on the other side?
Yeah.
I think it's divine justice. Because मैं 45 साल हुकूमत को गालियाँ निकालता रहा था, तो अल्लाह ताला ने कहा होड़ संभाल. उन्होंने कहा बहुत बकबक करता था ना, अब बैठ, अब तेरे डेस्क के पीछे झंडा भी है और झंडे के पीछे कायदे आज़म की तस्वीर भी है.
और कायदे आज़म की तस्वीर भी यूं देख रही है.
हाँ, ऊपर देख रही है, बिल्कुल. मैं होर मांग की मांगना. So suddenly I felt that, this was divine justice. He was saying that this is what you've been moaning and groaning about all your life. Now is the time. Go do it. And then you realize how difficult it is. Some things are not difficult. If I turn around and say कि जी हर चीज़ मुश्किल है, I'd be lying. A lot of things one can do very easily, which I tried to do. A lot of things are very frustrating and are very difficult to do, which I think will need massive reforms. Changing a tourism minister or a tourism SAPM does not cut it. You need to change the rules. And once those are done, I'm sure it will. But I'm a hopeless optimistic. If people ask me, are we going to get there? I said, of course we are. And I'm going to die trying.
कर्नल इशफाक हुसैन ने अपनी किताब में लिखा है ना कि जब मुझे मार्शल लॉ एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर लगा दिया गया कराची का, तो जब तक मुझे लॉ का नहीं पता था, लोगों का मेरे हाथों भला होता रहा. और जैसे मुझे लॉ का पता चलने लगा तो मुझे पता चला कि क्या मुश्किलात हैं, कि क्यों लोगों के काम नहीं हो पाते.
Exactly.
तो उस साइड पे जाने के बाद क्या क्या रियलाइजेशन हुई कि किस वजह से हमारे
यार बहुत सारी. We opened Kartarpur.
Yeah.
And when Kartarpur opened, I got somebody barged into my office and said, sir, बड़ी अच्छी खबर है. तो I said, क्या? And he said, we've got about 30,000 requests from overseas Sikh community pilgrims to go to Kartarpur. So please आप sign कर दें. And I said, what? He said, sir, sign कर दें. And then they gave me a number, कि it's a $1.4 billion outlay अगर ये आ गए. So I didn't sign it. And they said, क्यों? तो मैंने कहा, इधर बैठ जाओ. So these rocket scientists sat in front of me and I said, how many rooms does Lahore have? They said, excuse me? I said, how many 4-star or 5-star or 3 stars room does Lahore have? And obviously none of them knew. And I gave them the answer and I said, okay, where are you going to put the other 29,000? सड़क पे सोएंगे? Or how are you going to transport these people to Kartarpur? Do you have enough coaches and vans? And the answer is no. We get very excited when opportunities come our way, but we are really not prepared for them. The other thing is the visa process. In some cases, there are two ministries involved, and then there's the army security involved. So the files are fluttering about all over the place. Now, picture yourself as a family in Toronto who's planning to come to Kartarpur for one of the festivals, and you apply for a visa. वो फेस्टिवल क्या, वो अगले साल का फेस्टिवल आ जाता है तो आपकी फाइल फ्लटर हो रही होती है. So people are wanting to plan their vacations. And when they plan a vacation, they want to know upfront. They don't want to waste their vacation. They've got 20 days after slaving for a year. They don't want to waste it कि यार last minute तक पता ना हो flight जा रही है नहीं जा रही. So we need to facilitate. आप हमारी किसी embassy में चले जाएं. It's not easy applying for a visa. और आपसे जो वो डॉक्यूमेंटेशन मांगते हैं, फिर वो आपसे 4 डॉक्यूमेंट्स मांगेंगे तो कहेंगे 5वीं नहीं है. आप 5वीं करोगे तो वो 3री पे ऑब्जेक्शन लगा देंगे. ये हमारा कल्चर है. एंड टिल वी बिकम यूजर फ्रेंडली, राइट, टूरिज्म कैन नॉट फ्लरिश. वी नीड टू बी यूजर फ्रेंडली बाय एटीट्यूड. Our attitude is not user friendly. And let me explain to you why it's not, because I work for the government. The minute you tell somebody that no, this cannot be done, what you are telling that person is how important you are. And suddenly his dependence on you increases as an individual. So your ego is shot sky high. कि मैं नु कहता ना काम नहीं हो सकता. और देखो. Then the Gulab Jamans arrive and the Flana arrive and the Dua and the Imam Zaman arrives and says, the minute I say, sure, this can be done in 2 seconds, the guy is not going to look at you twice. He's going to be out of your office before you know it. He won't even remember your name. So, ये एक psyche है हमारी कि saying no will drive importance towards yourself. Saying yes will drive importance away from you. और ये एक बहुत serious ego issue है. Not only in the government, it's very easy to criticize governments. Even in large corporations I've seen, I train all over Pakistan, and I've seen in multinational FMCGs, you see this attitude that people tend to say no a lot more than they tend to say yes.
पाकिस्तान का वीज़ा अप्लाई करने के जितने मैंने वाक़यात सुन लिए हैं, मुझे लगता है कि जो मैंने जब यूके जाना था कुछ पता नहीं था, तो शायद वो प्रोसेस आसान था एज कम्पेयर टू अप्लाइंग फॉर पाकिस्तान वीज़ा.
My daughter, my eldest daughter was born in America, so she is an American citizen. So I was in one of my business trips, so she was in Switzerland. So she came to London and she said, Abba, मेरा वीज़ा लगवा दें. तो मैंने कहा sure. So she came, I knew the High Commissioner, so she came to the embassy. The process, obviously, क्योंकि High Commissioner ने sign वाइन किया हुआ था, तो it was quite painless, but the cost of that visa was 4,000 to 5,000 Pakistani rupees. The next day, she applied for an Indian visa, and the cost was 1 rupee.
आजम साहब, 3 ऐसी चीज़ें in our policy towards hospitality and tourism at government level that you would like to change or address. So, what are 3 policies?
Yes, देखो, policies जो भी हो, मेरी शिकायत रही है कि have them uniform. हमारी जो कमरों की टैक्सेशन सिस्टम है वो प्रोविंसेस में अलग है. एक प्रोविंस में कुछ टैक्स चार्ज होता है, दूसरे प्रोविंस में कुछ. The ease of doing business differs in provinces because आपने इसको provincial matter बना दिया. तो एक तो जो भी है, if you want to make a decision, please make it let it be consistent across Pakistan. एक तो ये, दूसरा कॉस्ट ऑफ रियल एस्टेट। ओके, हाँ, हम जब यूनिवर्सिटी में थे अमेरिका में, तो हमें एज अ बेंचमार्क पढ़ाया जाता था that your real estate cost when you buy land should be 15 to 17% of your total project cost. ठीक है, तो अगर 100 करोड़ का होटल बना रहे हो तो जमीन जो है जिस 15-17 करोड़ की होनी चाहिए, उससे ज्यादा नहीं होनी चाहिए। These days real estate is so excruciatingly expensive that your project cost, your land cost is about 50% of your project. अच्छा, अब सस्ती जमीन लेने के लिए आपको शहर से बाहर जाना पड़ता है। शहर से बाहर जाओगे, आपको सस्ती जमीन मिल जाएगी, यू मेक अ होटल देयर, who will stay with you when it will take them 1 hour to get to the business district.
Yeah.
So we can make a hotel in Bedia, or we can make a hotel, in Barki, but in the morning the businessman will get up and he says, I want to go to Gulbarg, and if it takes him 1 hour and 45 minutes in traffic, he will not stay with you.
Yeah.
So एक तो हमारी real estate costs are so high that it's not making economic sense for investors. क्योंकि कमरा वो कितने का बेचेगा भाई? अगर वो 50 करोड़ की जमीन लेके और वो होटल बनाएगा, तो उसको तो कमरा बेचना पड़ेगा 70,000 रुपए का. Then the business will not come at that right. And if he sells it lower price, he starts losing money. So I think we need to govern real estate price. अब real estate price market price से बिकती है. So the government's argument could be, or anybody's argument, कि ये market की ये कीमत है, and they're right. Market की कीमत है. But this is where governments come in. They come in with a special package for tourism. They come and say, जी ये हमारी जमीन है, ये हम आपको इतनी भाव में देंगे, providing you make a 5-star hotel there. That's the incentive the government needs to give in an economy like ours. That will drive investors towards luxury hotels. If you probably know this as much as I do, that the time for large, luxurious, opulent hotels is over in Pakistan. You'll find a lot of smaller properties coming, mid-scale properties coming, the PCs of this world and the Sheratons and the Movenpick. अब कराची में जो 4 होटल हैं, the famous 4, have been there for 40 years. उसके बाद कोई बड़ा होटल नहीं बना. इस्लामाबाद में I was part of the Serena's project team. We opened the hotel in 2000. It's 24 years. उसके बाद एक होटल नहीं बना. You'll find a lot of boards. Okay, this one coming up, this one, but nothing comes up. So there's the Marriott and the Serena in Islamabad. The Marriott's been there for 50 years. The Serena's been there for 25 years, and nothing else has come up. And the reason nothing else is coming up is because it is literally back-breakingly expensive to buy land. और आप एक कनाल पे तो होटल बना नहीं सकते. आपने स्विमिंग पूल भी बनाना है, टेनिस कोर्ट्स भी बनाने हैं, पार्किंग भी बनानी है, एंड स्मॉल प्लॉट्स डोंट कट इट एनीमोर.
सो इन तमाम तर चीज़ों के बाद एक आपकी वो वाली साइड भी है कि आप एक, अगर मैं आई कैन पुट इट, आप एक उस्ताद भी हैं. तो वो सिलसिला किस तरह से शुरू
यार हुआ? वो तो लड़कियों ने शुरू किया मेरा. All the women are responsible for that because I was 2 years into my job at Intercontinental Hotels, and Kinnaird College wanted somebody to speak to the girls on hospitality as a career. Okay. Now, it's fine now, but imagine in the 70s. 70s में if you told a girl कि hotel में आ जाओ, the parents would kill you. Because the parents were still thinking in those days कि इस होटल में शाम को कैबरे होता है और आशा भोसले के गाने बजते हैं कहीं, and some woman is dancing, and there's a group of men all over the place. That was the perception of hotels. People did not consider And in those times, I was asked to go to Connect, and I was 2 years into the company myself. So my boss was an American, and I said, I don't even know stuff myself. And they said, no, 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 you go. So I landed up at Connect College, and there were 400 girls in this auditorium who were screaming. And so Mrs. Falbo says, why are they screaming, Menka? Because they know me. And this, how do they know you? I said, this is not the only thing I do. I'm a musician. I play tennis for Pakistan. I'm an actor. I come on television. And she said, you never told me. I said, I'm here as a hotel person. So then I lectured these girls for about 90 minutes. And I said, yaar, Azam Jameel, ek kaam theek hai. You know, I mean, what could be a better start to a training career?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, this is, obviously, this could never be my profession. Let me give you a number. I have spoken to or trained about 300,000 students without charging a dime. Okay? I made it the volunteer side of my thing. Corporates, when I train, I charge them. Okay? And I charge them at a certain, but I don't charge people in uniform. I am one of the lead trainers for the Pakistan Air Force pilots. I'm now being asked to go to the PF Academy in Risalpur to teach the young cadets. I will not charge them. Anybody in uniform, I don't charge. I don't charge students. I don't charge charitable institutions. I've trained for 12 years at Shaukat Khanum. I've trained for 15 years at the Aga Khan. I don't charge them. Wherever medicine comes in, I don't charge. But corporates, I do charge. So that's how but it never was a career. I used to do it on the side. When Mr. Qasim Kasuri asked me to join him, one of my conditions was that he will allow me to train outside.
Yeah.
So we arrived at a deal. He said, okay, 2 days a month, you can train outside. I said, that's more than enough. Yeah. Okay. And ever since I've come, this is my third or fourth month, 2 days a month would mean in 4 months, 8 days. But I have been out only 1 day. So it doesn't happen that often. But at least I wanted that ability. Of course, I will not go to any other school to teach because it will be a conflict of interest. I represent Beacon House. I will not go to any other hotel company. But if Lipton was to ask me, or like Jaffer Brothers was to ask me, I would go. So that's the training, and I still continue with my training. I'm passionately involved in training. I just think it's such a good feeling to teach somebody, and especially it's a lovely feeling when you find people are coachable. If they are coachable, there can be no bigger pleasure in life. The reverse is true. If they are not coachable and you're standing there talking to them, that's very painful.
Yeah. So, from the eye of a teacher, what are the key essential leadership qualities that you see in someone at a leadership role in hospitality industry?
Yeah, dekho, leadership in hospitality is quite complex. And let me tell you why it's complex. Because one of the reasons I have not left hospitality for all these years, although I got some fairly reasonable offers in my life, because hospitality doesn't have a solution. Okay, now you are all surprised, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me, what is the optimum masala in a chicken tikka?
It varies from person to person.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So you can't make 19 chicken tikkas on the menu, right?
Yeah.
You have to make one. These days, in my days, of course, they weren't there, but these days you have a 1 million rupee coffee machine. It's programmed, okay? You press a button and it says press this, and some technology works in the background and they pull out a cup of coffee with you. Now, it's a 1.2 million or a 2 million rupee machine. It makes you 2 cups of coffee. And if I hand you one and if I hand Sana one and say, okay, you may love it and she may hate it. Now, the question is, the same machines made the coffee, okay? So who's right and who's wrong? And that's what makes hospitality beautiful. Both of you are right, okay? And hospitality is dealing with the person who hasn't liked it. You're done. You're done and dusted. I don't need to mess with you. But anybody who says ye theek nahi hai, dealing with that person is so. Leadership everywhere is difficult. I teach leadership in all industries, but hospitality leadership is challenging in a different way. It needs you to kill your ego a lot. Because you can have somebody who can say, "Eh, the khana theek nahi," and you'll say, "Oh, tu kadi khada bhi hai."
Yeah.
Yeah, कभी जिंदगी caramel custard खाता है कि आज बक बक करे. So it's very difficult to you say यार मुझे सारी उम्र हो गई है ये आके तो आज ये क्या. So you need to lower your level a lot, okay? Because it's a variable industry. I don't know if you guys remember or not. एक ज़माने में bathrooms में tubs हुआ करते थे.
Yeah.
And in the tubs there was a shower curtain, right, to prevent the water from coming. So when Conrad Hilton retired after half a century in hospitality, they said, "What do you need? What have you learned in hospitality?" And he said, "Only one thing. It's better to keep the shower curtain inside the tub than outside."
Yeah.
He said, "Other than that, don't ask me anything. ये कमबख्त रोज बदलती है. उसकी मेरे से कसम ले लो."
Yeah.
Right? So that's what makes it so interesting.
Yeah.
And when it makes it interesting, it makes it very challenging for leadership. Because there's no right answer. And that's why I use the word, and you express surprise, that hospitality doesn't have a solution. And a solution that could work for you and doesn't work for the lady sitting here to me, is not a solution, because somebody is still unhappy. At Cornell, we were given a book of 400 pages on coffee. And it took us 2 months to read it, and there were tests. And finally, the professor said, "Okay, who can now tell me what a perfect cup of coffee is?" And a couple of kids at the back, thank God it wasn't me, picked up their hand, raised their hand, and he said, "Shut up. There's no such thing." And they said, "Excuse me, but we've been studying this book." He said, "Yes, but a perfect cup of coffee is what that idiot wants on that day." That's what it is. So it's frustrating that you study you spend 4 years at a university and you come out and the guy there says, "Ketchup dena, main pizza te pawa." And you want to tell him ki ji, pizza te ketchup nahi pehna. And one of the great industrialists that we had in Faisalabad, Serena, because I was at Serena, he used to come and have pizzas every day, and he was very hefty man. I'm not going to mention his name.
Proper Faisalabad ke sheikh.
But he was really very heavy and very famous businessman, industrialist. And he used to come and have 2 large pizzas. And he used to ask for ketchup. So one day the waiter said, "To hell with this." I've been trained so much by Mr. Azman Jamil. He said, "Mia Saab, a pizza te ketchup nahi pande." So Mia Saab looked at him and said, "Oh, kaun khilota hai?" So he said, "Kaun?" Usne kaha, "Oh, jada khilota hai." Usne kaha, "Sir, wo cashier hai hamara." Kehta, "Very good. Ude kol ja, mere pizza de paise de de, main ketchup nahi panda." I'm paying for it, right?
Yeah.
He said, "जाके मेरे pizza से पैसे दे दे, तो ketchup ले जा, मैं नहीं पांदा." So this is, a lot of people think this is frustrating. That's a very strong word to use. I found it very exciting. मुझे लोग हॉस्पिटैलिटी के स्टूडेंट्स, अभी आई वाज एट BNU, वो कहते हैं कि सर हॉस्पिटैलिटी में पैशन कैसे दिखाएं. मैं कहा सुबह जब दफ्तर जाओ, होटल जाओ तैयार होके, तो ऐसे तैयार होके जाओ कि बेगम शक करना शुरू कर दे. That's where passion starts. Because if you're looking that savvy, imagine what a good feeling you'll give to your customers. अगर एक मनूस शक्ल बना के सुबह दफ्तर जाना है, तो you're in the wrong business. I said, बेगम को शक करने दे के बड़ी खुशबू लगा के जा रहा है. That's where the passion starts.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a very, very exciting industry. If you were to ask me that if I was given another chance to live, and would I pick any other, I would border on aviation because I'm a commercial pilot also. But I would still probably fall in the hospitality side because flying is a passion, but I don't see myself spending the rest of my life in a cockpit. okay, and just pressing buttons because now technology flies planes for you. I would still fall into the hospitality sector. And it's been a thrill a minute. Every day has been a new learn. And even today, when Mr. Qasim Kasuri, I in a discussion, he said, but you said this the other day. I said, yes, it's changed. And when Einstein was at Princeton or Harvard, he was probably at Harvard. No, he was at Cambridge, and he gave an exam to his. He was teaching nuclear physics or something, and after year one, he wrote a question paper. The examination board came and said, "We want." So he wrote an exam. So they gave the exam. The students prepared for the exam, and that was the end of that. A year later, the examination board came to him and said, "We want another exam. Saal pura ho gaya." So he opened his drawer and he pulled out the same piece of paper. And they said the questions are the same. He said, "Yes, the answers have changed." So so that was such a beautiful concept, and that's what hospitality is. The questions are always the same.
Yeah.
The answers will always change. So 30 years ago, the question I asked my boss, the same question some subordinate of mine asked me today, they're identically the same question, but the answer is diametrically different.
So you spoke about Mr. Qasim Kasuri. So let's talk about your current job, which is Chief Hospitality Officer at Ambiance. So ये सिलसिला शुरू कैसे हुआ, and what are the unique experiences do you offer to the guests, and how you ensure exceptional customer service?
Okay, so before I took up this job, when I was offered this job, the first comment that came was from my wife. And she said, "Who hires a 70-year-old these days?" I said, "When you're hot, baby. I mean, this is not an ordinary 70-year-old. No?
Yeah.
So I was a consultant to Mr. Qasim Kasuri long before I joined the company.
Yeah.
And I helped him as much as I possibly could. And then finally, I think he realized and I realized and we both realized together that this needs to be done on a more permanent basis. And that I needed to be here full time. And the wife and everybody said, "We are not moving from Islamabad." So I said, "Okay, then I'm going." So she said, "Fine." So I came here and I started working. Now, the one thing I really like about Qasim Kasuri, and I'm not saying this because he signs my salary check, is because he's a very creative, artistic person. And hospitality के लिए ये इतना advantage है to be creative, because that's what hospitality is. You need to be creative on a daily basis. And I found this with Mr. Kasuri. He's very, and his vision is very strong. I like people with strong vision. He knows what he's. Whether I can help him get there or not is a separate argument. I may not help him get there, but I will literally I will do everything that I know, what I know, to help him get there. Okay, so he has this amazing vision of quality, rather than quantity. Okay, and once you are quality driven, it helps people like me, because I'm the one who for the last 35-40 years has been promoting quality over quantity. And Mr. Kasuri does that. I'm having a great time. Okay, these are early days. And actually I was telling Mrs. Kasuri the other day that, health permitting, life permitting, मैंने 2-3 साल नौकरी करनी है, कितनी कर लूँगा. But मैंने कहा जी, in this 2 or 3 years, I will set a foundation that will help Qasim build on. That's what my contribution will be. I will set the systems, the SOPs, everything. So I'll do the foundational work for him. And so that when I leave, and leave I must sooner or later, it will become easy for him. And so I'm having a great time. I've always had a great time working for hospitality, and I continue to do that.
थोड़ा हमें ambience के बारे में बताइएगा, कहाँ कहाँ पे प्रॉपर्टीज़ हैं इस वक्त इसकी, व्हाट आर द फ्यूचर प्रोजेक्ट्स दैट वी कैन सी, और आपकी फेवरेट प्रॉपर्टी कौन सी है?
Okay, it's like asking me what my favorite kid is, and I have no shame in saying this one. Okay, so yeah, we have 4 properties. Lahore was the first one that was opened, followed by Karachi, and then we opened Hunza, and now the Vibe in Murray. All 4 are uniquely different properties. They're very nice properties. They share some semblance of, you know, commonalities, but they still have their individual feel on it. Okay? I am a sucker for Gilgit-Baltistan, so I have to choose Hunza. When I was working for His Highness the Aga Khan in Serena Hotels, as you know, we have a lot of
Yeah.
commitment in the northern area, so I used to visit a lot, not only for Serena but for training and for other work. तो मेरा तो एक soft corner है, and Hunza is one property that we've made ourselves. The others, you know, were already made and we just came and added on. So Hunza, we actually dug the foundations
Yeah.
up and built it. So it's our property, okay? So I'm very proud of it. The fantastic news about Hunza is that in a couple of months, we are opening our a second block, the block 2, which has literally a world level spa and wellness center.
Okay.
Okay, so that's coming up. We are in partnership or in consultation with a literally with a world famous spa company. And we are making individual villas at Hunza. So if as a family you want to go and take the whole villa, so there are 2 bedrooms and the kitchenette and everything, wo ho raha hai, so, and additional rooms. So Hunza is a spectacular property. What's even not more exciting, but what's equally exciting is that Islamabad is coming up. We've taken over the building, and our project teams have started working. I have committed to Mr. Kusuri that we will have the New Year's Eve party at the Hotel Islamabad, inshallah. So 31st December, if there is a party there, I would obviously request Mrs. Kusuri to come and cut the ribbon. And then from 1st of January 2025, the first guest will walk in. That's the plan, okay? So Islamabad is beautifully located. It's for those who know Islamabad, this is in that belt across from McDonald's, where there are these new buildings coming up overlooking the F9 Park and the Margalas. So we've taken an entire building there. The building, 2 buildings away, is the Jazz headquarters. So the Jazz is taken that building up. So it's a very good area with good people. And inshallah, at the end of the year, we're going to have hotel number 5. There are other places on the radar, which I could mention or not mention, but we're just thinking about those. And once Islamabad opens, we don't want to dilute our effort. We just want to focus on Islamabad now. And mind you, half the project team is in Hunza because Hunza ka bhi block 2 khul raha hai. So the minute block 2 is open, they'll all run to Islamabad, complete that. Once Islamabad is up and running, then we will be able to look at some other destinations. But Islamabad would be hotel number 5.
So next जो सवाल है ना वो है जिसके लिए मैं वेट कर रहा था, बिकॉज आई हैव समवट कनेक्टेड विद द स्पोर्ट. वैसे वो वाकई में मैं सुनाता हूँ कि जब मैं पैदा हुआ था तो किसी ने मेरा जायचा बनाया था, उसमें लिखा हुआ था कि लड़का खिलाड़ी अच्छा नहीं होगा बट खेल से रिलेटेड काम करता रहेगा. सो माई टाइम विद PCB एंड स्पोर्ट्स प्रोडक्शन, वो जिसने भी लिखा था बड़ा सही लिखा था. सो खेल से इस तरफ आना ये किस तरह से हुआ? बिकॉज यू वर अ प्रोफेशनल स्पोर्ट्समैन, सो प्रोफेशनल स्पोर्ट्समैन का वो छोड़ के इस तरह के काम में आना, या वो दोनों साथ साथ चलते रहे? दूसरा, खेल कितना ज़रूरी है फॉर एनीथिंग इन लाइफ, स्पेशली अ लीडरशिप रोल? बिकॉज मेरा एक मानना है, जो मैं अपने TV प्रोग्राम्स में भी कहता रहता हूँ, कि खेल और कुछ ना सही आपको एटलीस्ट हार बर्दाश्त करने का ना हौसला सिखा देती है. सो खेल कितना ज़रूरी है हमारे लिए?
I've been saying this my entire adult life. देखो, if you go home, I don't watch TV, but if you go home and you open any channel, you speak to any group of people, you go anywhere, the one thing you will come to the sad conclusion of is that we have forgotten how to lose.
Yeah.
हमें हारना आता ही नहीं है, ओके. एंड मेरा तो मैच पड़ा हुआ है पेरेंट्स के साथ आजकल. T20 मेरा हो रहा है वालदैन के साथ,
Yeah.
who are totally obsessed with 9 A's, 8 A's, A plus, A star और GPA. And I said, क्या कर रहे हो? What are you doing? Are you making a clone? Or you are making a human being? There's nothing wrong with aspiring for good grades for your
Yeah.
kids. There's nothing wrong. My problem comes when जब वो 7 A के बाद एक B लेके आता है ना, तो उस B की वजह से जब घर में मातम होता है ना, that is what I am so deadly against. Because when you don't focus on the 7 A's and you focus on the B, you are giving your kid a very dangerous lesson. And that lesson, inadvertently or indirectly, is that you have to win at all costs. You cannot give a more dangerous lesson to your kid than to win at all costs. Because later on in life, he will try to win at all costs, and that will impact his honesty, his integrity, because he knows कि मेरे घर में failure accept नहीं होता. The other thing I tell parents is कि ये जो A's और GPA's के तमाशे हैं, ये कब तक जारी रहेंगे? जब तक पढ़ रहा है ना, as till he's studying, you are obsessed with it. Fine. Now he graduates. He graduates from an American university. He arrives. तो उसने आके आज़म जमील के साथ नौकरी करनी है. तो मुझे बताएं कि नौकरी में कितने एज मिलने हैं उसको रोज?
2 साल बाद एक आधा मिलना है.
वो भी.
हाँ.
लेकिन छितरौल रोज होनी है.
Yeah. कोई गाल पे स्टार नहीं बनना.
बिल्कुल. और and when you make such a clone and he comes and joins the setup, you know, after 2 months he's saying, "Hey, I was perfect. These guys are wrong."
Yeah.
And he'll quit the job. And then he'll find another job and find that, hey, there are no A's here either. Because we've prepared that product. और मैं वालदैन से पूछता हूँ कि तुम लोग नौकरी करते हो? कि अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. मैं कहा कितने ए मिले हैं मुझे बताओ ना. मैं कहा ये तुम्हारा खामन बैंक में मैनेजर है ना, इससे पूछो कि लास्ट टाइम बॉस कब मिला था इसको. तो डोंट क्रिएट एन एनवायरनमेंट वेयर आगे जाके वो बच्चा डिसफंक्शनल हो जाएगा. ठीक है. स्पोर्ट्स जो है वो हमारी एशियन कॉलेज में, एज यू नो, इज कंपल्सरी. No parents could take their kids back home till sports was played in the evening. So obviously some of us got obsessed with it and we became professional sportsmen, and some said कि ठीक है, we'll play for the sake of playing. But physical fitness is a very small byproduct of sports. What really sports teaches you is A, to lose, B, to depend on other people. Because even if you're playing an individual sport that I played, my dependence on other people was enormous. It's not कि 11 बंदे खेलेंगे तो you are dependent. तो आपको डिपेंडेंस शो करती है, आपको लीडरशिप सिखाती है, आपको सैक्रिफाइस सिखाती है. इन्होंने स्पोर्ट्स बंद कर दिए. अच्छा जी, मैंने स्कूलों के साथ शोर मचाना शुरू कर दिया. मैं कहा ये तुम घरों में स्कूल क्यों खोल रहे हो? एंड फाइनली many years ago, Beacon House opened its new campus in Islamabad. वो H8 वाला है something, and it's a purpose-built campus. So I got invited for coffee there, and they said, "Sir, आप बहुत शोर मचाते थे ना कि ग्राउंड नहीं है, तो हमने तो बहुत ग्राउंड्स बनाए." मैं कहा ये बात हुई ना, तो कहते आए ना बाहर. तो they showed me the grounds. There was not a single kid playing. उसने कहा जी आप चाहे ना. हाँ, होड़ चैन आया कि नहीं? And then I realized that they were right. It's the parents. उसने कहा नहीं, ये तो वेस्ट ऑफ टाइम है. मैं प्रोफेशनल म्यूजिशियन भी हूँ, तो जब म्यूजिक बजता था तो वी वर कंडेम्ड ना. पेरेंट्स वर सेड भी ये भी कोई काम में करन था. वो उस दिन सलमान अहमद स्पेसेस में कह रहा कि अगर आजम भाई ना होते तो वाइटल साइंस ना होते, बिकॉज इनको घर से बाहर निकाल दिया सबको,
आपके घर आगे बजाया।
वो एक इंजीनियर बन रहा था, उसको घर से बाहर, दूसरा डॉक्टर बन रहा था, उसको घर से बाहर निकाल दिया, तीसरा कुछ नहीं बन रहा था, उसको घर से बाहर निकाल। सो आई सेड यार कम ऑन, आई हैव टू गिव देम अ ब्रेक। सो और वो दिन है कि आज का दिन है, all budding musicians show up at my house. They bring their tracks and say इसको चेक कर दें, इसको जरा देख दें, and you know whatever little knowledge I have, I help them. But it's that desire to do something. वो पेरेंट्स ने ये डिजायर खत्म कर दी, ट्यूशन लेनी है, ट्यूशन लेनी है। अब हमारा बच्चा स्पोर्ट्स में टाइम जाया करे या ट्यूशन ले, राइट? सो यू कैन मेक एज मेनी ग्राउंड्स एज यू वांट, बट इफ द पेरेंट्स डोंट want the kids to get on a sports field, not so that he becomes a professional sportsman, is because sports will teach him to be a fantastic human being and it will teach him to be a fantastic leader. ये जिस दिन वालिदैन को बात समझ आ जाए, my job on this planet is done.
So टेनिस स्टार से प्रोफेशनल टेनिस प्लेयर, पाकिस्तान चैंपियन, नेशनल चैंपियन, वहाँ से इस नौकरी की तरफ आ जाना,
वो साथ साथ चलिए।
ओके,
यू नो आई जब मैं बच्चों को पढ़ाता हूँ, मैं कहता हूँ कि आई यूज्ड टू गेट अप एट 5 o'clock in the morning, train for 2.5 hours, physical training outside, running ये वो, and at 8:30 I was in a tie in a hotel working for a living. At 5 o'clock when all my colleagues used to go home and say अम्मी भूख लगी है कुछ खाने को दे, I used to be back at the training field and I used to get home at 7:38 after training. I did this for 9 years. मैं कहा कर लो, रोना किस बात का है, कर लो ना।
yeah.
So my day started at 5 a.m., ended at 9 o'clock every day because I just wanted to do well. It was never a profession. ये अपना हम लोग जब टीवी में एक्टिंग करते थे, आजकल तो पता नहीं कितने पैसे हैं, पैसे नहीं हैं। I heard शनाज शेख से the other day, वो अनकही के लिए 150 रुपये मिला, तन्हाइयों के लिए 300 रुपये मिला, and she's absolutely right. I played the lead on a Bano Kursiya play. I got 300 rupees for the entire serial.
Okay.
तो ये तो money was not हमारी sports जो थी, our cricketers in the 70s 80s were very good cricketers, but they were not being paid too much money. उनका तो TADA था। जब लंदन जाते थे तो इतने पाउंड थे, उसमें इन्होंने खाना भी खाना होता था, सब कुछ करना होता था। Not that money is a bad thing. I am not suggesting that professionals should not be paid. I am just saying that that should not be the only motivating factor for you to do that. ठीक है, बाकी motivations भी रखो और उसके लिए if you are paid for it, fine, nothing like it. तो sports जो इन्होंने सिस्टम से निकाल दिया ना, ये हमारी जो नौजवान नस्ल है ना, उसके लिए बहुत हमने एक गलती की। और यू नो आई विल नेवर, मेरा हमेशा पेरेंट्स के साथ ये झगड़ा, और आई एम अ वन मैन आर्मी, दिस मी एंड देयर अबाउट हॉल फुल ऑफ पेरेंट्स, और मैं नहीं छोड़ता, मैं कहता हूँ ये काम मत करो।
Okay. So, different career paths, different highs and lows. जैसे मैंने शुरू में कहा था कि there are many dimensions of you. So, आपके ख्याल में ओवरऑल करियर में बड़े की pivotal moments कौन से रहे हैं आपके of everything, like if we speak about tennis, if we speak about aviation, if we speak about hospitality and then coaching as well?
First of all, I need to correct a word you used, and that's a career path. None of these were my careers.
Yeah.
My career was always hospitality.
Yeah.
This was passion. And लोग मुझे जब बच्चे कहते हैं कि पैशन की डेफिनेशन तो सर बताएं आसान सी, तो मैं कहता हूँ कि अपनी हॉबी को इतना अच्छा करो कि लोग उसको तुम्हारा प्रोफेशन समझना शुरू कर दें। So what did I do? All these were hobbies, but I did them at a level where people like you interviewing me said, come on, yaar, this has to be his career, right? And it wasn't. It was always, and then, you know, I remember this share that I use a lot with my children, especially, कि है शौक़ सफ़र इतना कि मुद्दतों से ना हमने मंजिल पाई ना रास्ता बदला.
Okay.
So, I just love the journey. And I've enjoyed the journey. And I continue to do so. Even, at my age, I'm still working 9 to 5. Well, I wish I could work 9 to 5. It's a lot longer, but I'm loving it. And my kids say, Abba, it's time you took it easy. I said, yeah, what will I do? And I said, the day I sit at home, all the ailments that you can think of are going to come back to me.
Yeah.
So I'm on my feet as long as I can be on my feet. Let me be, and they appreciate that. So yeah, it's the ride has been a lot of fun, and it continues. Okay, and I've made sure the ride is fun. प्रोफेशन तो होता रहता है यार, तनख्वाह उसके पैसे मिलते हैं, उस पे क्या कमाल है? वो तो जिस चीज के पैसे नहीं मिलते वो अच्छा करो ना, तो फिर पता चले कि गिटो में कितना सा है. जिसके पैसे मिलते हैं उसके साथ तो एक वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट है ना.
एक ऐसा आइडिया या एक ऐसी एडवाइस जिसने आपकी लाइफ तब्दील कर दी हो?
Oh yeah, many. Because देखो, I get asked this question, कि how did you get where you are today? And my answer is very simple. I said, yeah, I have. It's really no qualification of mine. I have had the opportunity to stand on the shoulders of great people, and they've made me look at the world. My first boss was Air Marshal Noor Khan. Now, that man is an icon in Pakistan. And so he taught me so many things. Then I was, in my acting days, Ashfaq Saab was involved with me. Faiz Saab was a very dear friend of my father's. So हम फैज साहब के घर पे होते थे. हमारे ज़माने में, you guys probably don't know, हमारी बेइज्जती आउटसोर्स की जाती थी. Yeah. Our parents made it a point to outsource our बेइज्जती. अब तो तुम अपने बच्चे को किसी को हाथ नहीं लगाने देते. आप कहते हो यार ये तुम्हारा बच्चा है, ये मेरा बच्चा है. Our parents were the happiest when everybody and their first cousin was kicking our butt. They were the happiest, okay? So Faiz Saab has been a lot rougher with me, and thank God for that, than my father could ever hope for. Noor Khan and all these people, they held your hand. They adopted you. And they really kicked butt royally. But what they did was they made humans out of you. And they made good people out of you. And the way they looked at it is that you become a good human, and as a result thereof, you'll become a good professional. That equation is reversed. People think you become a good profession and you'll become a good human as a result thereof. That doesn't work. A good human will make a good professional may not make you a good human being. So that strategy has reversed. But I've had a lot of people advising me of a lot of things that I've still never forgotten. And I've kept that very close to my heart, and I follow every word of what these leaders that I worked with taught me.
So, अगर आपका सामना अपने 20-22 साल आजम जमील से हो जाए तो उसको क्या कहेंगे?
Good question. मेरे से लोग पूछते हैं कि जी, this is a typical question when people ask me in the end of the interview कि आने वाली नस्लों के लिए आपका क्या पैगाम है? And I say कि अभी ना आए. अभी कोई जल्दी नहीं है. आने वाले नस्लें जरा थोड़ा सा सब्र करें. If I was to meet a 22-year Azam Jameel, would I tell him to do things differently? Probably not. Because another question I'm asked in interviews like this is, do you have any regrets? And my answer is simple. And I say no, not because I've achieved everything. I say no, I don't have regrets, because I feel that if I say yes, I'm not being thankful for what I have achieved. There's a big difference. वो जो तकब्बर है ना, और वो जो नाशुक्री है, वो आ जाता. And one of the reason when Qasim and I were talking about a job, and I was about to accept it, I remembered Ashfaq Saab's statement to me, and Ashfaq Saab once told me कि जेड़ी चीज मंगे बगैर मिले ना, अगर मंग ली फिर तो और जेड़ी चीज मंगे बगैर मिले उन्हों ना करन तो पहले 10 बारी सोची कि ना शुक्री ना शुमार हो जावे. It could be scripted somewhere else, and don't show ingratitude. So Shiv Kumar Sharma, being a musician of India, and somebody I greatly admire, sadly passed away last year. He was the world's finest santoor player, and he, along with Hari Prasad Chaurasia, had a musical duo, Shiv Hari. Okay, and Shiv Kumar Sharma, being a musician, lived in Himachal Pradesh, and it's a mountainous area. So he was lecturing students one day, and he said, "Ke kabhi pahad pe chade ho?" So they said, "हाँ जी." So they said, जब पहाड़ पे चढ़ते हो तो you are bending forward, right? You have to keep balance. You're bending forward, otherwise center of gravity you lose. He said, जी बिल्कुल ठीक है. And he said, when you are coming down, the reverse is true. You are now bending.
Yeah.
You're upright and you're bending backwards. If you bend forward, you'll topple over. So they said, जी बिल्कुल ठीक है. He said, when you meet somebody in life and he is stiff and upright, वो नीचे आ रहा है.
Deep.
And if you meet somebody in life who's bending down, he's on his way up. And I have not only experienced that, I have done it myself. I continue to do it. One of the accusations I get is कि आप इतने humble or modest हैं. मैं कहा, I am not humble and modest at all. This is just the way I am. This is what I've been taught to be. I said, I can't be erect because I'm not going down yet. Because the minute I stand and that arrogance comes in, that pride comes in, you are definitely on the way down.
कंक्लूजन की तरफ चलते हैं. हॉस्पिटैलिटी इंडस्ट्री इन पाकिस्तान को लेके आपका विजन क्या है? व्हाट इज द फ्यूचर फॉर hospitality?
Yeah, it's no fancy vision. It's just a realistic vision. I think. Achha, first of all, let me tell you, in the next 10 years, these are not my numbers. Okay, these are World Economic Forum's numbers. In the next 10 years, hospitality is going to be your largest employer worldwide. More than IT. More people are going to be, more kids are going to be joining hospitality than any other technical field on the planet. So obviously, in the next 10 years, I'm talking globally, not Pakistan. Okay? More jobs will come about in hospitality than any other field. So it's obviously there's a reason why this is. It's promising. Hospitality avenues are growing, and our kids need to be prepared to grab that opportunity. Okay? As you know, MBA was a very fashionable thing to do. Sometimes it's still fashionable thing to do, but you know and I know that MBAs are struggling. They can't find a job. Okay? Hospitality professionals today will find a job immediately, providing they are professionals. Right? They need to be educated. They need to be qualified. Just making chicken tikka at home does not make you a hospitality professional. Ek to I hate it when everybody comes on TV, these women come on TV and they are called chefs. Pata nahi chef Masuma to chef. Man, they are not chefs, they are cooks. I said my grandmother was a great cook. She is not a chef. Right? If you have a healing touch, you can heal a lot of people. You're not a doctor. You still may have the healing touch. So we should stop calling these people chefs. They are just good cooks, okay? And so, they need to be professionally qualified. I think hospitality has a good future. The government needs to, like I told you earlier, the government needs to help private sector in the development of hospitality. I set up 2 schools in the last 3 years. एक हाशू का स्कूल मैंने सेटअप किया, एक डॉक्टर अमजद साकिब का मैंने हॉस्पिटैलिटी, एंड बोथ स्कूल्स आर डूइंग वेरी वेल. बट फॉर द लास्ट 30 years we didn't have a school. So why did we not have a school in 71 or 65 or 76? It wasn't considered necessary. And now it is considered necessary. So these kids are going to school, they will graduate either from local schools or from foreign universities, and they will get jobs. So I think the future is bright, but we will need some intervention from the government. Like in terms of real estate, in terms of facilities, in terms of energy costs. I don't think hospitality is still an industry in Pakistan. अभी तक होटल मैनेजमेंट हॉस्पिटैलिटी को इंडस्ट्री का दर्जा नहीं दिया गया। और वो जब देंगे तो फिर ऑब्वियसली उनके पावर रेट्स चेंज हो जाएंगे, गैस रेट्स चेंज हो जाएंगे, एंड दैट विल इनकरेज मोर पीपल टू कम एंड इन्वेस्ट इन देयर।
सो जैसे आपने कहा कि अगले 5-10 साल के अंदर हॉस्पिटैलिटी इंडस्ट्री ओवरऑल वर्ल्ड वाइड इवॉल्व करेगी एंड इट विल बिकम द लार्जेस्ट एम्प्लॉयर, तो उसका कुछ असर पाकिस्तान पे भी इवेंचुअली होगा। How do you see Ambiance playing a role in that 5 to 10 years?
देखो, Ambiance will play a role because ये जो students आएंगे, we will become an employment opportunity for them. The more hotels we have, the more jobs students will get, right? So that's an automatic role, okay? And then, of course, don't forget, Ambiance falls under Beacon House, and Beacon House means education.
Yeah.
So, aaj nahi to kal we may get into hospitality education in a small way. Who knows? But Ambience will play a huge role in Pakistan's hospitality landscape.
So, Azam sir, lastly, कौम के नाम आपका पैगाम?
यार बात सुनो, this COM is allowing me to live here with a lot of respect and dignity. Please let them do so. ठीक है? I really stay away from. First of all, I'm not qualified to give I deal with students a lot, but I deal with them face to face. I go to every school in Pakistan, every university, and I give them a lot of paghams. As a matter of fact, I'm very firm on them, but I don't have that darja कि मैं कौम को पैगाम देता रहूं. So that's it.
Thank you so much for your time, sir. So this was today's episode of SOT Talkies. I hope you liked the conversation. I hope it was meaningful. We would really like to thank Mr. Azam Jameel for his time. If you liked this episode, please like, share and subscribe to our channel. And please share this with your friends and family because this will help the conversation grow. Thank you, sir, very much. Until next time, Khuda Hafiz.